Hey guys, Mateo here. I'm the Guildmaster of Pathfinder Gaming, and this is going to be a Lilias summoning session. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull for Lilias, and I'm going to give you some of my thoughts on her while we're going or afterwards. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm hoping I don't burn through everything and have to go all the way to the pity, but who knows? Who knows? I will be skipping the threes just because, you know, we've all seen them a million times before. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you enjoy content like this, please like and subscribe. Lets me know that you want me to keep doing these things. I am on my way to another raid of ours in World of Warcraft, and I just thought I would pop in and dump this off because I was going to be doing this in the break we have between our raids, and I thought I'd do this as video anyway. So if you're wondering, should you pull, should you not pull for Lilias, it depends on which you're missing in your roster. Do you not have a good offensive night? Like, let's say you went into the Nilgal trial and you're like, man, I don't have Charlotte. Man, I don't have Charles. I want the knight there. I want that Aureus user. I want someone like that, but I want them to be an offensive unit, right? I already have a Carmen, or let's say I already have Fallen Cecilia, so I already have that niche for my arena defense set up in that regard, but I want a more offensive knight for when I don't need all that survivability, and Lilias definitely fills that niche. So she also fills the niche of a secondary cleave unit, since her S3 is going to use the attack of the highest attack person in the party. You're simply replicating that for that one attack on that S3. So if you're running something, let's say you don't have aux slots. Oh, I love Purgus. I love his voice lines. But back in what I'm saying, let's say you don't have aux slots cleave, so you're not killing everybody in one hit. So you're doing a two-hit cleave, right? So or you have a setup to your cleave, right? So that would be something like Tywin, Cdom, Bazaar, something like that, right? So you're going to dispel them, you're going to put the defense break on them, and then you're going to have your AoEs go, right? So Lilias definitely falls into that niche. So if you were using, let's say you were using Judge Kisei, or you were using Bloodblade Karen in that Tywin, Cdom, Bazaar kind of makeup, or you just had Tywin, Lilias also serves you as that AoE cleaver, that supplemental cleave, right? So let's say you had a typical offense where you bring your Tamarin and your Issaria, right? And let's say, oh, I'm afraid I know this team there's 3 counters on here. There's counter Dizzy, counter, Fallen Cecilia. I just know I'm gonna take some punishment here before I can get the clean sweep. I can get all the kills off. So I want to bring a knight, right? So you might bring a knight on your offense. Well, here when you're bringing Lilias, you also get another very powerful S3 cleave in there while you're doing that. So in those circumstances, and they do arrive, right? There's a ton of really powerful Seaside Bellonas out there. There's a lot of counter Dizzy. There's a lot of they're tanky. There's a lot of tanky teams out there. I'm starting to see some tankier Arbiter Vildrets towards upper echelons of champion and legend. So running 14, 15k HP. So those are situations where you may want a secondary cleaver, right? Because not everybody has all the units. If you already have Cdom, Oxlots, Judge Kisei, Watcher Shuri, and so on and so forth, Biken, if you already have all these units, then go ahead and ignore this, skip this video. You don't need Lilias. You don't need to listen to me talk about Lilias. You're fine, but you already know you're fine because you have 100% win rate on offense in arena anyway, because every comp is child's play to you. You have Tamarin and Issaria and all the units in the game, and it doesn't matter, right? So I'm not talking to you, but anybody that's missing that piece to their offense. Like, I have my cleaver, I have my CR booster, I have my dispel or my defense break, but I'm missing that oomph, right? I kill 2 of their units, and they get the res off before I can kill the other 2, because I decided to fight into a Ruella of Light and May Chloe comp, and those are pretty numerous up there too. So this will definitely help you out. Another thing is PvE. Dual attacks are king in PvE. As you know, some of the highest scores in Hall of Trials involved Hammering or Kitty Clarissa. Most of all of the fastest Abyss clears were Tamarin. So, you know, if they ever introduce a hard mode for Automaton Tower or Abyss 91 through 100, you're definitely going to want to have Lilias in your chest anyway. If you're going to pull her anyway, let's say she's a waifu for you. You just want her because she looks great. Looks like one of your favorite anime characters. Gives you deja vu, and you want to have her, right? But don't just have her. Look at her. She's going to be very useful to you. So you can have her for that PvE application. Especially consider some units that are one shots, right? So one shot B11, one shot Golem G11. There's even one shot Wyvern 11. So you bring a unit that has 5k attack, 300% crit damage or whatever, right? But your 5k attack unit, but they're super slow because they need to get boosted or they need to be set up. Well, you can run Lilias faster, and you can shave a few seconds off your time because you're not waiting for the boss to go, the ads to go, and then your slow guy to make the one-shot kill. You can have Lilias do the get the dual attack or even do the S3, right? And get your one shot that way. So if nothing else, there's a lot of premature talk about is she going to change the PvP meta or anything, and to that I say, not really. I know it's kind of too early to really be saying that, but I don't believe so. My vantage point from sitting in Champion 1 and Low Legend throughout the week and then doing the push on Sundays is a whole lot of water units. There's a whole lot of water units and a whole lot of things where it's binary, right? You either know what that niche is, you know what that player is going to do, or you don't know what that player is going to do. I'm not going to spoil anybody's defense because I take notes on people's speed and HP and things like that. So I'm not going to spoil anybody. Ruin your defense for everybody that's watching. But there are some teams where it's like, man, I have to be able to do this. I have to get to X speed. I have to have immunity on this character because they're running triple counter, quadruple counter, right? So you're going to see a lot of Seaside Bologna, a lot of Dizzy, and they're not the traditional super fast. You're going to one shot them with cleave units. They're tanky. They're built counter. They're going to hurt you if you're trying to AoE them, right? So I don't think Lilias is going to shake things up there. Most people are running, well, at least me, I'm running somewhere between 30 and 40% defensive win rate. This is high champion, low legend, with Seaside Bologna and Dizzy in that kind of configuration. Not going to tell you if they're fast or slow, but they're built on counter. And so I don't mind. You can know if you fought me before, so they're built on counter, and they're just there to ruin your day. If you want to judge Kisei, my team, if you feel like you want to one turn cleave me, you're not going to have a good luck with that. So I think because of the prevalence of those compositions that are out there, there's still a ton of Grail of Light, there's still a ton of May Chloe, ton of Carmen, a ton of Fallen Cecilia, ton of Assassin Cartusia, there's a ton of Arbiter Vildred. There's a lot of things that prevent you from cleaving. There's a growing number of MLkins, better geared MLkins out there, I'll say. Because I used to just cleave through MLkin with Judge Kisei anyway. I was like, whatever, I'm gonna kill you. They're getting tankier. They're getting better built, and so now I have to pause on that. So you have those kind of units, and then everybody's wearing counter. I don't want to ruin anybody's specific team comp, but you know this if you are also climbing through Champion and Legend. Everybody's running counter. Every Charles is on counter. Every Fallen Cecilia is on counter. Every Dizzy's on counter. it just all the units are countering. You know, of course, MLKN's going to be countering you. So in a landscape where you and there we go. Like I was saying, guys. So thankfully I didn't have to go all the way to the pity. I would have been upset with that, but I did want her, so I was prepared to do that anyway. Got three golden transmit stones. I will make that into a moonlight, and we'll do that summon here too. What I was saying is that there are so many teams out there on defense that discourage cleave, that discourage you from cleaving, that you really like adding another cleaver. It's a binary. You're either playing that into a team that you know you can play it into, or it's not going to help you. You're not suddenly going to be beating teams that you weren't beating before by adding Lilias to your offense. So, you know, and you know what you guys get beat by, right? So if you have a pretty tanky team, you're getting beat by Tamasaria. If you have a pretty light team or pretty offense-heavy team, you're probably going to get beat by Judge Kisei. The team I have at the table right now, one variant of it is, and that's, I have Ruzit there just for the imprint to make my Oxlots a little bit faster. For one particular guy, and I will call him out because his team was spotlighted on Reddit. It's Denjo. I think his Basar is at 276. Because I know that's where my Oxlots is with double speed and print. It's at 276, and I definitely coin flipped him on his defense. So I have to bring the Ruzit in there to do that. I did get another Surin imprint there, so I probably, I think that would triple S her, and I can just use her instead of Ruzit or Shuri. But yeah, you know, it's binary. You either know what you need to do to beat that team, or you don't, right? So if there's not a lot of I don't think there's going to be any budge with Lilias on offense. It's not like, oh my God, now 100 people have Lilias. I better watch out because,
what do I sell?
You know, my half ice team, half tanky counter team is now suddenly going to get destroyed by this fire unit. That's just not going to happen. So I don't think there's a lot of people out there that are going to be changing their defenses or anything of that nature for Lilias. But stand by, though, because if you think about the way that DN happened, right? So DN came into the forefront. We were in a fire meta, right? So everybody was running Tieria, everybody was running Charlotte, Haste. So there was a lot of fire AoE going on, and a lot of speedy fire AoE. And so DN comes into the picture, and then all of a sudden her buffs just, you know, kind of destroys that, right? And then in response to Deanne and Kisei and Luna, you know, and Angelica coming into the forefront, I knew this wasn't going to be anything. Coming into the forefront, then you started seeing, you know, then Charles came out, and then more people started running Falcon Clury, you know, units like that to kind of counter that. So I don't think Lilias is going to shake the meta right now because we are in an ice meta. Not necessarily an ice meta because they're ice, but because they're like the great surprise. I'm in a counter set. Sorry, you're about to get quadruple stun and destroyed. But that's more the power of Dizzy and Seaside Bologna than just the fact that they were ice. If they weren't ice, you know, they could have been earth or fire. We'd still have them in our party because of how strong they are right now individually. So, like I said, hold on to her. She's going to get there, guys. She's going to get there. Maybe not this month, maybe not next month, but she's definitely going to be one of those where as soon as Dizzy falls out of favor, well, I don't know how that would happen. She'd have to get deleted from the game. But, you know, if we ever stop using Dizzy or Seaside Bologna for whatever reason, or you stop saying Angelica, because there's still a few of those. There's still a few Angelicas out there. And, you know, you stop seeing Crawl, right? And we're back in an Earth meta. You know, we're back there. We're back in a Fire meta, or we're just completely the top 500 players are just completely all Moonlight, right? There's none of it doesn't matter what the element is. Then yeah. Then 100% Lilias is going to be there. She's going to be incredibly powerful, and I believe in real-time arena, because you don't know. You're not going to know what kind of damage you're looking at based on the units you see on the field. Anybody can be geared up to 5k attack for her, right? You know, let's say, oh man, they have Lilias. I'm gonna ban Gunther. I'm gonna ban whoever, insert 5-star Leo character, because they have the highest base attack in the game. So I'm gonna ban Gunther, and you know, or I'm gonna ban like MLK or whoever else has 5, or Sermia or whoever else has 5k attack, right? Or Lorena. I don't want any of that in my team. And then bam, they have like a 5k whatever. You know, it doesn't matter what unit they have. You just bust out the 5k Ruzit, the 5k Aug slots. It doesn't matter, because it's just gear, right? But you just bust that out, and then all of a sudden Lilias is going to one-shot you with that S3, and you had no idea. So I think she's going to be a wild card in real-time arena when that comes out. But for now, I think use her in PvE, make your runs faster, make your hunts faster, make the future content a little bit faster, because it's another dual attacker, just like a Tamarin or a Kitty Clarissa, and then sit on her, wait for the meta to shift, and bring her out for that surprise. Now, like I said, if you're missing that secondary cleave for your setup cleave, like a Tywin CDOM kind of, you're going to methodically dispel their immunity, put up the defense break, and then bam bam, hit them twice and they're dead, then yeah, Lilias fits perfectly in there. She definitely fits in there. So that's all I got, guys. If you're tuning in the live stream, I'll be shifting over. I will be streaming Raid tonight, and then be doing a little bit of Dungeon Fighter Online and whatnot. So I appreciate that. Thank you for your viewership. If you enjoyed this, once again, press that like and subscribe button. If you want to, feel free to leave me a comment. If you want to leave me a question or concern, please feel free to do that. I will respond to those as soon as I can. And all right, guys. Hey, I'm off to the raid. Hey, you guys have a great one. Peace.